All the milk. There's milk inside here. Dude, check it out. Look at this. Look at this. It's like past 200. This is amazing. It's gonna be the thickest bag I've put. I usually don't go over 200 in each bag, but I did this time. This is really exciting, guys. Hello, kay bigana. Should I say hello, mamas? Because I am now in the mama club. Alright, I'm so excited to talk about. This is a video that I have been waiting to film and have worked so hard so that I can gain experience to make this video. Like, this is such an important video for me, but also I want to help mothers out there, because as much as there's so much information out there and it could be really overwhelming and confusing, and therefore I never actually looked at anything breastfeeding when I was pregnant, because I was so focused on my hormones, everything being brand new, and it was all daunting and shocking. But I really wanted to breastfeed because that's one of my big dreams, and I know a lot of mamas, that's our first choice. We want to give our babies the best stuff, which comes from our breast milk. And so I came from an Asian background. My family, my grandma, my mom never breastfed. We were all bottle fed. But this was my dream, was to breastfeed for at least a year. I am 4 months in now, and I'm gonna tell you that it's been really good. Did it start that way? No. So I want to help you today. If you're a first-time mom, especially if you are planning to breastfeed, I want to give you some tips and tricks and share a little bit of my breastfeeding journey to inspire some of you. Even I know that breastfeeding, as easy as it sounds like it is not. It's really one of the hardest things after giving birth and not sleeping, is the stress around building your milk supply. For me, it was, and I wanted to quit so many times in a day the first 2 weeks. So today I want to talk about what kind of pumps I use, things I wish I knew, hurdles such as candida, if you had antibiotics, etc., things that could help you build your milk supply and even build a stash stress-free, okay? We will talk about this. If you go on TikTok, you'll see a lot of women, a lot of amazing mamas who will just get like a dunk, literally a dunk of milk, pour it into their freezer. Now, I'm talking about building a supply, but also at the same time, a lot of moms can't produce that much, or it's incredibly stressful and time consuming. And if you have that much milk, you're probably gonna just be giving it away, because if you are planning to breastfeed your child for the first year anyways. Everybody has their own journey, and this is not the only way, okay? Pick out what works for you. So one thing that happened was my baby came out almost a month early because he was a twin. And I was not expecting that at all, and I kind of had this sense of wishing that I pumped 2 weeks before, and if I would have gotten my milk supply already, and maybe it would have helped me for my situation. But there's also pros and cons with starting too early, and also their tummy is so small in the beginning that that amount of colostrum is actually enough to fill them, since they wake up so frequently anyways, which I did not know, okay? And so I faced a lot of shame in the beginning because I was just hand pressing, which is really good to start early on before giving birth. Also helps with mastitis, but in the hospital I had so much pressure, especially my baby was jaundiced, to produce a milk right away, and it wasn't happening, and the stress was not helping at all. I really believe that in normal cases, God really set up our body for success and for the success of our babies, and I had enough milk, but I had faced, because of the lack of information of the people that were surrounding me and the nurses, there's just so much stress that I was not producing enough milk. And with all your hormones, you're thinking, I'm a bad mom, like I'm enough to raise this kid, which is completely a lie, crazy. But at that moment, it's such a vital way of like you surviving from sleep and you surviving with, and your babies are relying on you. So it was a really daunting time that I had to really forgive those people, and I just had to go through like some healing around it, because it was traumatizing, and I don't want people or moms out there to go through that. And if you need to substitute with formula, which I had to top up in the beginning, there's no shame. There is no shame if you have to. There's a substitute for milk, but there's no substitute for a sane, sleeping mom. So really, if I were to go back, I'm glad that I fought through all this, and in victory, thank you God. But really, like, there's no shame at all. There shouldn't be any shame around breastfeeding or formula feeding or anything like that. The hardest part was because I didn't know all this information. My pump, my brand new pump, broke when I first came from the hospital, and they said if you can't feed your baby, you have to go back to the hospital. And then it was so much fear because he was jaundiced and all that, and it was like, it was stressful, and so it wasn't helping. My milk supply like went down so much. I had to purchase another almost $500 pump. I used Medela, the hospital grade kind of pump in the hospital, which was so good because it had very small parts. It was working. And the other brand that broke on me, which I was very angry about because that was expensive too, had 1,000 parts. When you're not sleeping and you're washing, it's like the worst thing. But it was such a blessing that I just decided, because I'm gonna have more kids, that I'm gonna invest on Medela. Sorry if I say Medela. And this has been a lifesaver. I actually got the double pump one just because I wanted to save time. So if I need a break to go to the bathroom, to the kitchen to eat, I am pumping. I cut a hole on my sports bra so it's hands-free. I don't actually use this anymore. I especially use this the first 2 months, especially the first 2 weeks to a month. So this is definitely worth the buy for the first 2 weeks of survival with a newborn. There's like very little parts compared to the other brands out there to wash. So it's easy. You can teach your husband how to do it. So this is actually the manual pump, and this is actually the one that comes with the electric double pump. So you get 2 of these, and there's very little parts to that. In a little bit, I'm going to talk about the manual pump. Woo! I got my milk from this morning, and I got one from the Hawk and some of the manual pump, and I realized that when my period comes, it goes down beforehand and then it goes back up again. So I try not to stress out in those times, but I do think about like how long will I be breastfeeding till, or like it's okay, maybe I won't create a stash. It's just like your mind just goes into those cycles where you're like, what is going on with my body? But really, when you're in breastfeeding, your period's non-regular. So I have some in this bottle, and this is just from one breast. Hoot, hoot, hoot. I'm back, baby. I didn't have any excess milk supply after my period came, but now it's coming back. Another part of the story was that I got hit by candida because of 25-hour broken water, labor, infection, etc. So I got so much antibiotic. I got hit with candida in my breast. It made breastfeeding painful, and for my baby to have thrush, that was stressful. We needed healing for that, and the medicine initially gave him diarrhea. I went to a naturopath, and they gave me a brand new, more organic kind of medicine, which is called HMS. Cluster feeding, because he was born early. This was the hardest part. for 10 hours straight, you guys, even 15 hours a day straight. Every 15 minutes he was eating for 2 weeks, 3 weeks straight, and then again on the 6 weeks. It was so stressful. I never saw myself like that. I felt like I was a zombie, like I was screaming. It was so stressful not being able to sleep, and him constantly wanting to like eat because he was catching up, which was healing the jaundice, which is amazing. So respect for moms, and I've never respected myself in a way I did before, because I tapped into a new superpower, which is being a super mom, you guys. And the lactation specialist helped me how to latch better, make it pain-free. And if he latches deep in your breast, like to get the whole nipple, and not let him sleep on the boob, and burp him more often between each breast, it's actually gonna help shorten that time of cluster feeding so they get the more efficient meal. Like they get a meal instead of like snacks, which they are used to in the womb. So it's actually training them, and it actually helps you put them in a schedule later on. I know most lactational specialists does not approve of that, but eventually I just wanted him to eat every 2-3 hours, which he does now, or sleep through the night, which in most nights he does. Some nights he doesn't. So he naps on his cribs during the day, and then he feeds with me and co-sleeps at night. And there's no shame in co-sleeping. It's honestly, when I learned how to nurse, which took a while, in bed, that's when everything shifted and changed for me, because I was sleeping more. Two, I wasn't as stressed of like getting up, doing it. It's just like I could rest while feeding, and that really helped me bring my milk supply in, because I was less stressed, you guys. Lactation cookies, eating a lot. I had like snack trays and tables my husband would bring me during his parental leave, so that I can get my milk supply. I was getting nourished, vitamins. This one here, like a big chug of water. I'm gonna link everything down below, by the way, you guys, so that you can have access to these products as well. It helped me so much to drink water and you need to be hydrated when you're feeding a little one. You get so thirsty, but don't wait to get thirsty to drink water, which I'm guilty for too sometimes. But I bring this everywhere. So I have this sippy big water jug, but I also have this kind of like a bottle. When you are laying down nursing, water just spills all over you and you accidentally take a bath with your baby. So this helps keep the water in control. And then I'm gonna talk about 2 pumps that has been a lifesaver if you wanna collect milk in your deep freezer. This Haka was out of stock in Canada, okay? And I wanted it, needed it, and I actually, if you look at my vlog when I had the newborn, I was like, I just found out about this Haka. Nobody ever told me about a Haka, you guys. And maybe it's my fault. I didn't look at YouTube videos like this, and I'm glad that you are. I'm proud of you, because now you know about a Haka, and I could have saved way more milk in my stash, especially the first month and 2 when my milk supply was just spilling everywhere. I'm always leaking. It's ended up in rugs, spraying people's faces, aka my baby, and like drenched shirts. Haka, you guys, it's a great catcher for milk, and it pulls milk as well. So, you know, just could either do it like that, but personally I don't like doing that. I just like to do the squeezing thing. It feels like it holds on more. I use this while laying down and going up. So there was a time where I actually had to sit up in the morning, because that's when you can collect the most of milk. But now I just lay down. I actually barely use this now because I built a stash. I don't need to build anymore, and I just feed my baby on the breast, pluck them in there, done. No need to wash, clean bottles. Praise Jesus. So it's worth it, and you're saving so much money. But this little flower stopper, as long as you don't put it as long as you put it correctly, it actually saved me from spilling so much milk. I use the Medela plastic bags. I never use the Elastinol one, and a lot of people use that. I haven't tried it yet. I do have some. It's pretty good, so I'll also link that below. And then for the, because this was out of stock, the Lacino one, I would use it as a plan B. It works, but it spills. This one spills. It's not 100% when you're laying down. It falls over, especially if it gets really full. This is the 150 ml, so my friend actually had to cross the border and get it, but it's now available again on Amazon, so I'm gonna link that below. And then another thing that people swear by, I don't swear, is this Medela manual pump. As long as everything is intact here, works amazing. But what I found was whichever gets my milk, my form milk in the morning the most, is whoever will fill it up more. So sometimes this is more effective, this one's not, or you could use this before using this, or using this after and getting what's left behind, or getting the form milk first. I only bought this later on. To be honest, I didn't really use it as much as this one, but if you do use this, make sure to there's a base that comes with this, attach it so that if it spills, it doesn't spill. You're golden, you're liquid gold, because I've spilled so much liquid gold even with the electric pump, and I was very upset because he worked so hard with that. So this one, with one go, I was able to fill 30, whereas in the Haka I was able to fill up almost 41, 42 ml. This is just in one boob, so I got about 160 in this Medela bag with both Haka and the manual pump. So this is the bag that I use by Medela. Honestly, it's amazing. Doesn't really leak. I just have to put this. When I was catching my milk, I put bags of this in my nightstand, and in that nightstand I would just pour this overnight, and it's good for 4 hours, so between each feeding. And so if I don't fill it up and it's still within 4 hours, I pour it. Or you could put it in the fridge and do your pouring there, or you could pour over liquid, like room temperature milk, into frozen. That could also work. I lay it flat on the freezer, which I'm going to show you my freezer in just a moment. Alright, so I organized my freezer so all the meat is at the bottom, away from the breast milk, and all these stashed right there, stashes of milk. I put the new ones here. And yeah, so I was able to get up to 180 with a little bit more of milk 4 hours later. And I didn't pump, it was just all Haka, and I could get some more, but in the morning my baby's more awake and could eat more, so I don't want to take it away from him, so just leave it there. So what I wanted to really establish here is how to build your milk supply, feed your baby, and have a substantial enough milk, and be stress-free yet have an oversupply to build enough stash. So much we filled up. Milk, milk, milk. And this is just from my left boob while he's nursing on the right side. So this is my bag. So this is my milk this morning. I'm just gonna transfer it. We have gotten around 90 and a 150 here. As much as you can. This is really exciting. Got about 200 or more. So this is actually one of my first ones. What? Got about 200 in here. Exciting. A lot of content out there of oversuppliers where they have stashes of freezers of milk and all that, and they pump every 4 hours, even 4 months in. For me, I actually stopped almost 90% of pumping, if not 99% of my pumping at this point, because my goal is to feed my baby fresh, and my goal now is to last at least a year or more to give him breast milk. And in the beginning, I didn't know if I could make it because of how hard it was. So my goal was the first 3 months, and that felt like forever. But now, because things are easy established, he's a great latcher. I don't have to wake him up. I don't have to like fight him to latch anymore, which was hard in the beginning. And now it's easy, especially for traveling. Breastfeeding, incline, decline of the plane is so helpful. You guys don't have to bring formulas, waters, etc. as long as your baby's with you. I bring this manual pump and the haka when traveling because this you could actually detach into pieces, and it's great for storage just in case. But in my next trip, I'm not even going to bring the manual pump anymore, probably just the haka, because I didn't use either of them. I still believe in catching some of your milk, because I actually use some of the excess milk for his baths because it's good for their skin. And this is, I don't know if this judgment around is, but if I catch a cold, it actually helps him prevent catching the cold. But if I need the energy, I actually have drank some of my milk, and within 2 hours, because of the antibodies, I'm well, I'm better, and I can take care of my baby. And that's really important for me, no matter how weird it is and kind of gross sometimes, but it helps me. You want it? You want it? Yum. So the last products that I actually want to talk about today is the nursing pillow. It is so good, especially the first month or 2 months when I am nursing more sitting down. So for first time moms, I definitely recommend this. This is by Boppy. I actually got 2 of these covers because it just gets dirty a lot, so it's good to switch it around. I got the white one. That was probably my favorite one just because of the texture. It's not water resistant, it's not poop resistant. I don't think any of them are, but they do a pretty good job in, you know, catching most of the spillage if your baby ever poops. So the Boppy one is my favorite. I have a second one for the car, so if I ever need to nurse my baby while out in public and there's no place, I put it in the car. And I was so fearful about breastfeeding in public that I carried this huge thing in my appointments, in the mall, everywhere, because I was just like, I wanted to be ready. But now I'm so used to just breastfeeding wherever on the go. And you will too. You'll get used to it as well. So there's no fear, there's no stress. This is an enjoyable thing. This is a connection between your baby and you. The second thing that I like is this one. It could be a car seat cover. So basically, you just put it like this, and you plop your baby inside. Another thing that I actually like more than the car seat cover, which a lot of mom likes, is this bird cloth, which is my favorite because it is so soft, you guys. Hi guys, my package arrived from Amazon. And it has this really cute baggie, and it's really good quality too of how they package the product. The material is amazing, and the quality, I haven't been able to find something like this out in the store. It's so soft. And it's pretty wide, you guys. What I love is that it could be a car seat cover as well. And it's just so easy and so simple. I do not leave the house without this. So I just do this and tie it at the back and plop them in here. It's just so much easier to like having this access here, left and right and down. So just like pick them up, burp them after. So the first order I got was the blue package, and now I got the green package. It has a lot more neutral gender colors. The green one, this is such a pretty green. I'm gonna link it below because I want to help you out. Lanolin, and this one is really good. I really love this one, and I don't have to wipe it off. So I use that one for extra moisturization, which I also put in my lips too before these products that I just showed you. Is this Earth Mama. It's this nipple butter. I could link this below. It's from Amazon, and it's organic, and everything is just good for you, and it smells really good. It's just this There's this consistency here. I just wanted to finish this video, and you know, breastfeeding in public I was really afraid of in the beginning, but by law you are protected even if you don't have a shirt, which I'm gonna say I never did. I always had clothes on and like being modest around it for when I'm meetings with friends, if you're like having like a close intimate dinner. So that's a lot more secure. But if I'm just out and about with strangers, I just pull up the burp cloth. This guy is 4 months old, you guys. Breastfeeding really works, but also his genes. He is a tall dad. Yeah, so that's it. And I love breastfeeding because it builds such a strong connection between you and your baby. And I really feel for some women that, you know, if you have to formula feed, and then there's no, don't stress about it. There's no judgment or anything. You're doing your best. That's the best thing you could do, is just do your best. And even if you're giving the bottle, make the main caregivers be the only one who gives it, unless you know you have other arrangement in your life, and then no judgment again. So whatever works for you and you're doing your best, that is what is important. All the products down below, and I pray the best amazing breastfeeding journey in raising your baby. Good job, mama. I'll see you guys next time, but also I will link the products below for you. Alright, see you guys later. Ta-ta! Love you guys. Bye.